first word for vocabulary today is perception. Perception. Your perception of something is how you notice or experience it using your senses. Perception. It's how you notice or experience something using your senses. So, I might perceive my nail color as like kind of a light pink, almost brown, but someone who's colorblind might perceive it differently. They're experiencing it differently through their senses because their senses are different than mine. They don't see color like I do if they were colorblind. Our sentence is, the amount of light in a room affects our perception of the objects in it. Have you ever been in a room where it's pretty dark and you have a hard time kind of telling what color something is, or maybe even what shape it is, because there's not enough light for you to correctly perceive it? It changes your perception. Aroma. Aroma. An aroma is a strong, pleasant smell. And yes, it is usually very pleasant. So something like these cookies on the cookie sheets, those would have a very pleasing aroma. The aroma of freshly baked cookies filled the kitchen. Aroma. You could use that word instead of smell most of the time. Now you're not going to say I smelled a bunch of roses. You wouldn't say I aroma a bunch of roses. It's not a verb. But the aroma of the flowers is nice, or the smell of the flowers. Distinguish. Distinguish. Can you distinguish between those two pugs, or do they look too alike? If you notice how things are different, that means that you can distinguish them from one another. So like if they're twins or something, how do you distinguish one twin from the other? How can you tell them apart? I can distinguish the two puppies from one another because only one has a white spot on its chest. So that's how you can distinguish them or tell them apart. Distinguish. And our last word is tactile. Tactile. Something that is tactile is experienced through the sense of touch. So he's really feeling all the fluffiness of this little puppy here tactily. Petting a dog is a tactile experience. Tactile. And that's an adjective. All right, let's review. We have perception. It's how you experience the world using your senses. Aroma. It's a pleasing smell. Distinguish. How you can differentiate or tell two things apart. And tactile, having to do with the sense of touch.